Hello, my name is Belinda. This YouTube clip is my assignment for EDC1200, Self-Education and Society, within the Bachelor of Education program at USQ. For this assignment, I have chosen the issue of women in sport in Australia. Consider for a moment the next few slides. Australia prides itself on being a sporting nation. The Australian government has even referred to sport as being Australia's national religion. Australia first adopted this reputation around the time of federation, when both men and women began to compete on the world sporting scene. Australia has a rich sporting history, and this is thanks to both male and female athletes. Successful male athletes, however, are lionised by the media and the public. This acceptance and adulation does not extend to women. For females, it is not an easy task to gain respect in sport. Phillips explains that the many champion women of Australian sport have largely triumphed over a system that worked strenuously against them. Recently, the Australian Women's Health magazine launched a campaign called I Support Women in Sport. The magazine's editor, Felicity Harley, explains that there are two main objectives for this campaign, and that is to increase participation and recognition of women in sport. Harley asks the question, why, in 2011, when gender equality is arguably at an all-time high, is recognition of women's sport in the media so utterly appalling? Keddy explains that unfortunately, gender equity is by no means a reality. She goes on to clarify that generally, females as a group are disadvantaged through structures, systems and practices that privilege males and the masculine, such as sport. Kosofsky explains that for females to succeed and make a career out of sport is much more difficult than for males. The pay is low and the opportunities are few and far between. To change this gender inequality in sport has already proven to be a complex task, but change needs to begin with the small details, and, of course, with education. This campaign would be excellent to use in the classroom as a way of exploring the distinction between females and males in sports. Awareness that there are wonderful and amazingly talented women athletes and role models for young girls is extremely important if this campaign is going to be successful. So, how can we turn this into curriculum? I have designed a short 4-week unit aimed at grades 5 to 6. The unit will be called Women in Sport, Worthy or Worthless. The objectives for this unit are that students will understand that different is not less, media and advertising are powerful mediums, female athletes are talented and admirable, they will discover positive role models, they will learn and participate in new sports, and their interest in sport will be increased. The key learning areas covered in this unit are the arts, English, mathematics, health and physical education, studies of society and environment, technology, and information and communication technologies. Week 1. A PowerPoint presentation will be used to begin this unit using the slides that you can see here. The teacher will use the Think, Pair, Share strategy. Students will be asked to think about the photos and how or why the word different is included. The teacher will show the photos again as the task is fresh in their mind. Students will then turn to their neighbour and they will be asked to discuss and write down all of their ideas on why these photos or people are different. Students will be allocated 10 minutes for this task and will stop on the teacher's signal. The whole class will then sit in a circle to discuss their ideas. One student from each pair will be asked to present their findings. The class will then discuss the word different. Each student will be asked to look up the meaning in their dictionary, or if there is internet access, students can look online. The teacher will show the slideshow again, this time with the extra slide at the end saying different but not less. Have students explore this concept. What can the students come up with that are different from one another but not less? Brainstorm this as a class. To extend on the physical education side of this unit, the class will graph the sports played by each student. Use one colour for boys and one for girls. What are the differences? Discuss these as a group. Are there any sports that many of the students don't play or want to know more about? With the students' input, choose 2 sports to learn and play over the duration of the unit or perhaps the duration of the term. Make sure children are given plenty of opportunities to practice and play. Week 2. As a whole group, look at the I Support Women in Sport campaign. Then, complete a noisy round robin. The classroom desks will need to be pre-organised into 5 groups, with a large piece of butcher's paper and colourful pens on each. Each piece of paper will have a different heading and are written on this slide. Groups will spend 5 minutes on each question. The groups will talk between themselves and the nominated scribe will write as many answers or ideas down as possible within the time. At the end of the 5 minutes, the teacher will signal and groups will pass their sheet to the group on their left. Groups cannot repeat what is already written on the paper. Once each group has completed every question, the teacher will collect and collate the sheets, put the information together and add any more valid ideas. Each student will then receive a copy of these lists. Weeks 3 to 4. Discuss with students sports stars they see on TV. List the stars they come up with and compare how many male stars are on the list as opposed to female stars. Graph these findings and discuss the differences. In pairs or small groups, students will choose one female Australian athlete to research. They will be given internet time to research their athlete and must collect information about their life, their childhood, how and why they got involved in sport, and what their achievements have been to date. Students will present their information by way of a report, PowerPoint, flyer, poster, song, poem or role play. Students will present their findings to the class, and some may wish to present their project on assembly to create more awareness. That brings us to the end of my assignment. I hope this clip has given you some insight into the issue of women in sport in Australia and the diversity driven between male and female athletes. The I Support Women in Sport campaign has been created to help ease this diversity in our modern society. The integrated 4-week unit I designed is just one of many ways to include this issue into curriculum.